that was awkward. Greetings from the What Do You Mean Towers. It is episode 4 of the Awkward Encounters podcast.
When did we get a second tower? Or more.
The first episodes have gone really well, so we were able to upsize a little bit in our studios. So we now have multiple towers.
So, just so you know, we are in a wizard tower. If you didn't know
canon.
this.
I didn't know we were
canon.
playing D&D.
No, this is, yeah, we're in a wizard tower and apparently now have more. So I don't know when this happened. He didn't consult
We're
me
making
about
money
this.
moves.
Is this like
something you would know something about?
It's like Stephen King Dark Towers.
Yeah,
Like, bunch of
it's-
freaking it about to jump out at me.
Yeah, we have like actual dark towers. Okay. But yeah, welcome to episode 4 of the Awkward Encounters podcast. We are actually doing this weekly, which is surprising. My name is Noah, and this is Jared.
Hi, I'm Jared.
And we have another, for the second week in a row, special guest on our podcast. I won't acknowledge my ties to this person, but this is Morgan.
My ties.
This
My
is-
name's Morgan.
Hi, Morgan.
I'm an alcoholic.
I'm a milkaholic.
Yeah.
Chocolate milk.
So we're gonna start with our usual wrap up of what we've done with the What Do You Mean sheet.
It's not a wrap-up, it's a recap. The wrap-up comes at the end.
Okay, we're with the recap. Would you like to do the recap this time? I think we did it last time, but why don't you do it since you're so smart?
Okay.
Oh! He doesn't know. He doesn't know what we posted over the past week.
No,
I don't either.
Over the past week, we posted 2 episodes of Halo.
Yes.
The first 2, to be precise.
Yes.
And then we streamed on Friday. We
Yep.
streamed for, 3.5 hours
3.5
almost?
hours on Friday.
Very long time. We streamed a game called Human Fall Flat, and it was very fun. We had a good time, and now we're here.
Yeah, it was a wonderful stream. Definitely our most successful so far. Thank you to everybody that came out. Are we gonna be? We may not be live Friday. I don't know yet. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Are you
you?
sure we'll figure it out?
I hope so. I hope we'll figure it out because I promised several times now.
Okay.
And so we got a special topic for y'all today. That's finally not gaming related.
That is true.
We're going a little step further in the media department. We're going to talk about movies.
We're still in the screen media
Yes,
department.
we are
but we've
still
gone
looking
down the
at
hall.
screens.
Tracy, I
This
hope
is
that's
why-
okay with you.
Tracy.
This is why we have the second tower now.
What's the
Mm.
second tower for?
Movies.
Movies.
The first one was gaming.
So,
now the second
okay.
tower is movies.
Okay, so we're
We're
live
becoming
from
a-
the movie tower.
Yeah, this-
What do you mean?
This is the conglomeration that's going to become a huge stack of wizard towers. They actually go vertically. It's like one tower stacked on the other.
Is this like the tower from the Lego movie?
Oh yeah, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no elevator though. Like
No.
you work for it here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a spiral staircase that spirals the wrong way.
Who's president business? Like, wait, how does it
I
spiral?
am president
the rope?
business. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Are you the rope?
I'm the chipper hero who takes him down.
I can see you as bad cop.
I hate to break it to you, I haven't seen that movie since it came out.
What?
So it's been a while. There's a
That's
Batman
a classic
It is a-
movie,
it is a
and it's
classic
now
movie.
a series because
in it. It is a series.
number 2 just came out, which I
Number
have yet
2.
to see.
I have not seen it either.
Speaking of number 2, let's hear about your taste in movies, y'all.
Was that a poop joke or was that a sequel joke? Or both?
Or a rating joke.
It was a poop joke saying that your taste in movies is bad, though I highly doubt that whatever you bring up I will not
Says
agree
the
with.
guy. Says the guy who thinks Elf is a cinema masterpiece.
Why are you getting so close to the mic? You're outing me right now.
You just got added.
Well, I'm telling you right now, if Elf was a series, I'd be talking about it right now. So
we're talking specifically about movie series, just to clarify for
Yeah.
Tracy.
yes. Do you know who Tracy is?
No.
She has no
From-
idea.
from
She's a
Montana.
guest on our podcast, and yet she knows nothing about our
Hey,
canon.
I just woke up this morning and was like, hey, maybe I should be in this
You've been
podcast.
asking for weeks to be on this podcast.
But I didn't know what to talk about.
Tracy from Montana, which is her last name legally.
From Montana, yeah.
Yeah, that's one word.
Yeah.
Tracy from Montana was our first viewer.
Is her middle name from?
No.
No, her last name is from Montana.
What's her middle name?
You don't know.
She doesn't
She
have
doesn't
a middle.
have. She chose to abstain from middle names.
I don't think she would choose that. I think that would be a
She could
parental
choose if
choice.
she's over 18 to just get rid of it.
Oh, she got rid of it? Okay.
Yeah, she got rid of it.
Like Zendaya,
Yeah.
like, just goes by
Yeah,
Zendaya.
we don't talk about her middle name. Okay,
It's like
let's
Beyonce.
get going. Please. Who would like to start? Which is not me. One of you two will start, and we're talking about what your movie series you'd
sorry,
like to
you
talk
want
about.
I can start.
Let's
Yeah,
get
you're
our
our
guest
guest.
going.
So my favorite movie series I'll be talking about today is the How to Train Your Dragon series.
Hooray!
Yay!
Yay!
So I remember I've always loved fantasies and dragon and stuff. So I remember when the How to Train Your Dragon series was coming out. I never read any of the books. I tried to read more of the books,
There
but
were books?
She can't
there's
read,
books.
so
I can read. I just don't like to. But they're also very childish, which is weird because I like children's movies, but I don't like children's books, I guess.
I mean, it's very different.
Yeah.
There's no visual aesthetic to a children's book. It's just like...
it's illustrated, of course.
No, that's a picture book.
No,
This
this is like
different.
a book.
Like a
book.
chapter book.
Oh, I
You know, like-
understand.
Back
you know-
when they had to call them a chapter book because they had to differentiate between a picture book and a chapter
Well,
book.
clearly, I never reached that distinction in my life.
I would compare the books to like you remember those
Magic Treehouse?
Magic Treehouse. I'd compare it to like that.
Well, there's
in
still
level of reading.
illustrations in those. I want to point that
There's
out.
a couple,
Yeah,
but
few.
anyways. So I remember when I first saw the trailer, I was so excited to go see that movie. Just because I've always loved dragons so much. And then while literally watching the movie, I specifically remember like sobbing at the end. And I don't know if we're like doing spoilers or things like.
I mean, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
There you go. For
yeah,
How to
like-
Train Your Dragon, the first one you're talking about?
Well, I'll probably be talking about both.
Well, I mean, right now, though, the
Yes.
spoiler. So if you haven't seen it, it's been out for like, what, a decade?
decade.
So, like, get over it.
yeah.
Okay.
I remember like
Continue.
literally sobbing at the end when it like was revealed that Hiccup lost his foot, just like Toothless. I remember just like pointing at the screen being like, they're the same.
Oh my
They're
God.
the same. Yeah, I just love that movie. And then the second one just got a lot better because he was like very attractive in the second one. So it was great.
Do you want to go a little further in on the
No,
second
I
one?
remember like waiting for the trailer and I saw it with my sister and we saw it and like he takes off his helmet at the end of the trailer for number 2 and I was like,
He's
what
hot.
the fuck? Because it's like a couple years later.
Yeah.
And it's so good. I have yet to see the third. I'm seeing it actually tomorrow after this recording. So,
So that,
yeah.
by the time you hear this, Morgan may have seen the movie,
Right.
maybe not, depending on if you watch it on Sunday or Monday. Almost it's Saturday.
I'm sure I'll like it because I do this thing when movies come out and I haven't seen them yet. I like to look at the Wikipedia pages
my
and
God.
look
Oh,
at the
she's the
entire
worst about
plot.
it.
I did that with Avatar,
Wow.
and a couple of other movies,
Oh, my.
but I have yet to do with How to Train Your Dragon.
She
I'm
does
holding
that.
myself back to
You're
just
making
because
Jared do the face.
I know I'm gonna cry. I know
my
I'm
God.
gonna cry
Yeah, what? I just don't get that.
because
That's
I
like
don't
reading
like
the
it.
Spark Notes and then also reading the book. Like, what is the point of that? That's like, oh wow, I got a test tomorrow. I got to read the Spark Notes, and then you read the Spark Notes.
Oh, those
and
Spark
like, wow,
Notes are really good.
yeah,
I
I'm
want to
gonna read the
read the
whole-
entire book now.
That's it. It makes me decide if I want to read the book.
You can't do that from just like the inner world.
You can't say that because every time you read the spoilers, it's for a movie you already plan on seeing. You're not going to read the spoilers and be like, all right, I'm just going to cut it there.
I'm trying to think of another movie I did it for. I did it recently with what's that alien movie that came out? Valerian in the
We saw that
planet.
movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yikes.
looked up the Wikipedia for that before we
Yeah,
we
so
like
what's your example?
So-
I said,
while we were sitting in the theater, I looked it up too, like because I
Wow.
because I always show up like 45 minutes before the movie starts.
Wow.
Yeah.
okay.
But like that's just how I am. Like I like to read because sometimes I feel like you can get more
She's
from the
justifying
Wikipedia.
herself. Okay.
And like it can help explain things, especially for a movie like Interstellar. I think I did that, or I looked at it like right after or something because I was so confused.
Right after is fine.
Right after is fine.
I don't know.
Which is often what I do.
I'm gonna kind of defend your point. So I'm not gonna really talk too much about Marvel specifically during this podcast
Okay.
because there are so many things.
That's it.
Don't want to go into
They're
that.
just
That's for another time.
yeah,
for
that's
sure.
a huge thing to go into. But because I am aware of like comic books and storylines from those, when I go see a movie, I often do know what's going to happen. I haven't looked it up on purpose, but I often know the story in general. So I kind of see it. It just changes the experience. So instead of me going in and being like, what are they going to make Captain America do? I'm going in saying, how are they going to make Captain America do this? Rather than, like, what are they? So I guess it's just different.
Like, we watched Infinity War on premiere night in our local cinema.
Here's a spoiler alert for that.
Spoiler.
In
And,
case
like,
you have not seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very well in tune with comic books, too, and I knew what was going to happen, basically.
Yeah.
But
I did not.
Noah had no idea.
I had no idea.
Oh, dang.
But I knew what was going to happen.
have
I didn't know
that
who was going to
innocence.
die. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I knew he was going to get all of them and snap his fingers, all his Infinity Stones. So, and I did not.
I mean, with hindsight, it's like kind of just seemed like a foregone conclusion. Like, of course that's going to happen. How are they supposed to progress this?
Well, because the problem was we didn't know if Thanos was going to get all of them in the first movie.
Yeah.
So what people were really thinking was it was going to be him getting like the first some of them and then like getting the rest but then not doing it or something like that in the second one. But obviously that is not what happened. And so that's definitely like it was definitely like a big shock to everyone, even big comic book fans, because we didn't think they would actually do it. Like we were sitting here like, oh wow, I know exactly what's gonna happen, and then they went in and they actually did it, and we weren't expecting that. Like we were like, oh wait, hold on, what? You actually,
This is slowly turning into a Marvel.
I was gonna say, so to kind of bring us back
Yeah.
on track, we should do like an Endgame prediction podcast, which is something we've talked
I
about.
want to do that.
So if you're listening right now, we'll get further into that part later on in the future as Endgame approaches.
So I can segue into my actual first.
Yes, please do.
So
Can I finish?
Yeah,
How to
yeah.
Train Your Dragon.
absolutely.
Just for How to Train Your Dragon in general, I recommend like everyone go and see it. Why are you laughing at me?
She just really wants to get her shit in. It's
I
just
love
really
How
funny.
to Train Your Dragon. I want to finish one before heading to another one. All right.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
No, that's fine. It's just funny, like how much you love the series. But
Yeah, it's such a children. It's not. It grows with its audience, really. Like the issues that are in the first film are very different than the issues in the second film, and I'm guessing again it's very different than the ones on the third. Just because I think it's catering to like the same audience. They're just growing basically and getting older. But I always recommend it highly to anybody because it's got everything. Like it's got romance, it's got action, it's got comedy, and it just is a really great like kind of coming of age film to show anybody. And I feel like anyone can relate to it.
and it's got a really suave main character.
Mm-hmm.
Very suave. Yeah?
Yes.
Is that...
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a suave main character. And he's even older now in the third film.
Doesn't he have a beard now?
He's
the third
probably
one?
around my age
Yeah,
now, actually. He's probably 20.
He full on Captain America. Like he went away for a while and came back.
He's nomad. He's nomad.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the end. How to Train Your Dragon, watch it.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds
1
good.
and 2 and 3 is coming out soon.
It's out already.
It's out. 3 is out.
Came
so
out
you can
last
go
week.
see it. Okay.
Yes.
So my first film, very different. Not for children.
I know it's coming.
Do you?
Maybe.
Is it the Dark Knight series?
No.
Oh,
Because
yes.
that is what's coming.
No.
The Dark Knight series.
For some reason, I was expecting like... Well, it's not really a series, so never mind. Never
W-
mind.
Do you want to say it?
No, it's fine.
I want to know.
I was thinking you were going to say like Caddyshack or like Animal House or
How
something.
did you not remember me saying I'm going to segue from Marvel into it? Like,
Oh,
how would
no.
I...
I forgot.
That'd be an impressive segue if I was like, all right.
Well, I know you're a man of
Caddyshack.
comedy, so that you're going to go into one of those movies.
Yeah,
but then I
no.
realized it's not a series, so...
I'm so excited. I love Batman.
Okay, so the Dark Knight series is the best Batman series. You can fight me about that.
Mm-hmm.
It is the best rendition of the Joker. It is...
What are you doing?
How you doing?
Continue.
It's the best rendition of the Joker by far. So that's the second one, the sequel to the first, which has Scarecrow in it. Christian Bale's okay as Batman. I'm not gonna lie, he's not amazing, but none of the Batmans have been amazing. He's up there He's above frickin' George Clooney in the Tim Burton Batmans, which never should have been made.
I actually
like,
quite
the ones-
enjoy those Batmans.
We watched one with the Penguin with
That's
Danny
the one.
DeVito. Yeah, that one.
Those movies do such a disservice to what Batman is supposed to be.
You know, I have to agree with that.
I strike fear into the hearts of my enemies with the nipples that they put on my suit. Like, you...
What's the name of the girl in the Batman Dark Knight series that he loves?
Oh, Rachel?
Rachel!
Yeah.
Sorry.
Where's Rachel?
Rachel!
So basically, the Dark Knight series, I thought was... Well, it was the first time DC really made, like, a good movie.
That wasn't animated.
Yeah, that was not animated. That's a whole nother ballpark.
Can we do a whole episode on DC animated films?
DC animated films are amazing. Actually, the Dark Knight animated films are almost as good as the live action, if not as good.
Is that the one where he's older?
He's like really big,
And he's old.
and he's like a little bit older, and like the Joker in that is insane. One of the just
Is that
best
the one with
Jokers.
Carrie Kelly in it? What am I thinking of?
I
With
have
Robin.
no idea.
Robin's is a girl with.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes,
yeah.
I've seen him.
And he like that's in that one animated series, which I think is 2 movies.
Mm-hmm.
They cover like 3 different Batman plot lines, including Batman v Superman, and that version of Batman v Superman is so much better than the movie version. So basically, The Dark Knight was the first time I saw Batman on screen as he was supposed to be. Like a Dark Knight, literally what it's titled.
with his layers and
Yeah,
such.
he wasn't literally just George Clooney wearing a nipple suit with like Robin being just a circus goer who happened like
And even in the second movie, he could turn his head.
right
So it's pretty cool.
like
Ugh.
yeah, wow.
Not the first movie. The
Yeah, he
second
had to
one.
like just and like props to Adam West. That's just a very different style of Batman. Almost as silly as the George Clooney one. I would hesitate to say more silly because George Clooney's Batman was
You really think
Ooh.
the 60s Adam West version is more silly, or not as silly as the George Clooney version?
I've met Adam West.
that's awesome.
And Burt.
Rest in peace.
Burt Warren. Robin.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
don't
I
remember
met
his
Adam
name.
West and Burt Warren, I believe.
Adam West
At
just
a-
passed away recently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
well,
last year,
recently,
right?
No,
Really?
like
It was
4 years
4
ago.
years ago, dude.
Are
5
you
years
sure?
ago.
No way. No,
Yeah.
I contend to that.
I met him like
I contend
probably
to
a
that.
year
To break it
before.
to you.
I met him at
Heavily
a
contend to
convention.
that. I'm gonna say he didn't die
Um,
more than 2
I
years
can't
ago.
remember what
4
convention
years.
it was though.
No,
I'm going
absolutely.
4.
Absolutely not.
What is the name? Look up the name of Rob. I'm gonna look it up.
So
He died in 2017 in June.
okay.
Yeah, you guys are wrong.
I mean, that was almost 3 years ago.
No, we're not even at 2 years ago. What are you talking about? What?
You're so mad.
It's Burt Ward. Burt Ward.
Burt
so
Ward. Okay,
He's
so
still alive. I
What?
believe.
She's
Yes.
ignoring me now because she.
You're
All
right. I messed up. I was
Okay.
off by a year.
So Dark Knight, very good. Specifically the second one is the best. It's one of the best DC movies ever made, animated or not, and that includes Wonder Woman, which it was a very good movie, although not part of a franchise yet, but it's coming. The sequel is
of course it
coming. But DC's been floundering, and
Ben, I think they're doing better.
well,
The only
they,
movie that's been good that's come out is Wonder Woman.
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't put Aquaman up there. But Aquaman was
good.
Aquaman was a decent
Okay,
addition
I didn't
to
see
the.
that.
Yeah.
I did.
Forgot.
I specifically didn't see Justice League because I heard it was garbage.
I didn't see it because she told me not to.
I
saw
saw it like I saw it after it came out on DVD and it was garbage.
Yeah. So Dark Knight was like DC did it right, and then something went horribly wrong. So I really I love the Dark Knight series, even though there are some really like dumb parts to it, and people always make fun of Bane being like unintelligible because he's just like
And then he's got like a little girl voice, like
yeah.
I will break you.
Yeah, so but I liked them. I thought they were good. I thought that they captured like the darkness of Batman's character well, as opposed to some of the other versions.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my first series.
To be real with you, she knows what I'm gonna say. Not movie series wise, but I have not seen the Dark Knight trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I've said that to you. But
I'm disappointed.
I'm
That
just
is-
gonna say Noah is like historically the worst person to watch movies with ever. Like anything. Watch anything with, because he'll fall asleep. I've tried to show him animes, my favorite movies, my favorite Ghibli movies, all my movies, and he falls asleep.
Ghibli movies?
I've fallen asleep in theaters before.
Yeah, he fell asleep when we were watching
I fell asleep
Batman
during
versus Superman.
Okay, well, that's fine. That's
so there's two reasons for that.
nap-worthy
There's two
movie.
reasons for that. One, I hated the movie when I was watching it. And also, I'd worked a 10-hour shift at my job, which wouldn't have been an issue if the movie was good.
Yes.
He also fell asleep during Aquaman.
I did not fall asleep during Aquaman.
You were falling asleep.
I did not fall asleep during Aquaman.
I had to wake you up.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
No.
Then, no, yes, I did.
No.
Yes.
We're not talking about this right now.
I did.
I liked Aquaman a lot. I watched the whole thing. I was awake.
Batman v
I did fall
Superman
asleep
was
during-
hot garbage.
It was.
So falling asleep during that is absolutely acceptable. That's a better use of your time.
I'm an old man. That's just what I am. Okay, so
what's your first series?
My first series is quite a doozy, but it's
a doozy.
It was the first one I thought of.
VeggieTales.
No. Would you like to take a guess as to what it is?
I honestly have no clue.
It is the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Oh,
That is my first movie
Okay.
series. Probably my favorite overall movie series. Star Wars is up there, which we'll talk about. I just spoiled one of my other ones. I'm sure some of you will actually say it too, but it's okay. I didn't say that. But yeah, Harry Potter series is probably like the first full movie series that I watched and owned completely. Like I have all of them. I read the books when I was younger. Just meant a lot to me. Like just made me always feel a certain way when I watched them. Emma Watson was my first celebrity crush as well. I loved Hermione.
Yeah, I mean she's great.
Yeah, so she was like my first like big celebrity crush. What are you doing over there?
I'm just looking.
Are you listening to me?
Yes, I am.
I don't know. You're on your phone.
Oh,
Diddling over there.
you're over. I mean, you fall asleep every time we try to watch something. So
That's where. Yeah, but I'm not. You're not. Okay, whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, I own all the Harry Potter movies. I just like loved them so much. I remember when I was younger, my sister and I made like wands out of pipe cleaners, and we'd like basically like LARP Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
Like my mom like twisted around like a bunch of different colored pipe cleaners. And we named our wands and stuff.
what was yours named?
I don't remember.
Wow.
I don't remember, but I really love those movies. Like I'm always down to watch them if people bring them up. I don't know. It was just kind of like the main like movie series of my childhood, but before I started watching like other stuff. The only kind of like forms of media I consumed when I was younger were WWE, Harry Potter movies. Pretty much those were the only movies I watched, and video games, and that was it. So
That
yeah,
explains a lot.
I don't really have much else to say about Harry Potter. Like, what are your experiences with Harry Potter?
I mean, I've seen all of them, and I went to like the midnight releases of the last couple ones
Wow.
too.
Well, so we were young. We were
Yeah.
probably like 11 or 12.
My mom loved Harry Potter. She read all the books, even the new one that came
Yeah.
out.
I haven't seen
like,
any
The
of
Cursed
Fantastic
Child
Beasts.
Cool.
Yeah, the post. Well, she read that one. I have like wands at home. Oh, fun fact.
Oh,
yes.
here it is.
This is a great story.
I was waiting for this. That's why I brought it up. to
So
you.
2016, just graduated
Let me set the scene.
high school. Me and a couple of my friends, we took our first big boy trip by ourselves. It was just us with my
Oh.
older sister. We all went to Florida, and we went to Universal Studios and went to Harry Potter World.
Cool.
And they have kind of this like walk through amusement thing where you can go in and then you're in Ollivander's thing, and Ollivander, the guy who is Ollivander, an actor, not the actor, he's there, and he picks someone from the crowd and goes through that whole wand choosing scene with you.
Yeah.
There's a video of it somewhere. You're not supposed to videotape it, but my friend Alan did videotape me.
Nice.
So we went in twice, I think. Because we're just like wasting time before like lunch or something. So we went in the first time we saw it, and they're like, let's go again. So we go in, and there's only a couple of us in there, and the guy like goes around and he chooses a random person from the crowd, and he comes up to me and he chooses me, and I went through like the whole thing like where he hands me the wand and I test out different wands and I wish and I flick and like stuff, and like, you know, things pop out of the drawers and stuff and lights turn on and off, and he like, you know, just like choosing your wand, and then he hands me a wand like in the
and
movie.
says that'll be $60.
No.
That's the TLDR.
Yeah. No, but like for the last one, he's like, I wonder, and he goes and like gets a wand and gives it to you, and then you hold it, and then like wind starts shooting up and like light, there's like a light on you, and it's like just like the movie. And then And then they like took the wand back, and then the like concession lady came over and she's like, if you'd like to purchase the wand, it's $60. And then I bought it.
Oh,
she bought
nice.
the wand.
And the
Oh.
worst part is they have cheaper wands. Mine was one of the wands where like it has the little thing at the end where you can like do magic around the park with it if you do the right moves. And I bought it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was like $59.99.
Wow.
But my friends made fun of me. But it chose me. It chose me.
Yeah, that's her excuse every time it comes up. It chose me. You don't understand.
So now I have a wand. If anyone ever wants to go to Harry Potter World, I can let you borrow
Oh,
my
there you
wand
go.
because you can do all the special shit with it.
Didn't choose me though. I don't.
I felt bad though because apparently there was one kid in our group who had been through it like 7 times trying to get chosen. And apparently
then
they
they
look
chose
for
the-
11-year-olds too. So like I don't know. I was 18 at the time. I guess I looked like I was 11.
11. Yeah.
Yes, but I was chosen. It's a very pretty wand.
Oh. So my experiences not like that. I have not seen all the movies.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't have expected
I
that.
have part 1. I have some. if you
I have
want.
I've
all of
seen
them.
all of them except like I think the most recent or the most
Most
So,
recent,
you're not
like
talking about
7
You're
years
not talking
ago.
about Fantastic Beasts, are you?
No, I saw the first.
I'm not. I haven't
Fantastic
seen any of
Beasts.
those movies. I'm
No.
talking about like the mainline, like original
mainline
8 movies.
weren't there 8
7
made?
books, 8 movies.
Yeah, I didn't see like either the 7th or 8th or both of those or something.
I
like
have
that.
them
You mean
both.
you missed the entire like climax of the story?
I
I
have them
didn't-
both on my computer. We're
Okay,
watching.
I was never into Harry Potter. I
Okay.
actually tried reading it once when I was younger.
Okay.
I was like, I must have been like 8, and I tried reading it, and it was boring, and I didn't like it, so I put it down. And then later, when I was like 12, I was getting ridiculed so much for not having read them by a lot of my friends, because a lot of my friends were nerds who loved Harry Potter. So I was like, fine. And over the summer, I read all 7 books in 7 days.
Wow.
So 1 book per day on average. But in reality, it was like the first book kind of mixed with the second book. So like by the end, when the books were long, I had like a little bit of buffer time to actually get through them. But I read all 7 books in 7 days. And it was okay. Like, it's not my favorite series of all time. I hate to break it to you, but
That's fair.
so,
It's-
like,
I just want to say that you're boring and I don't like you.
Ooh.
so when I the movies took so long to come out, I just didn't care anymore. Like the first 3 or 4, I was like in it. I was like, these movies are really good. Like the books were okay, but the
Yeah.
movies were like just the visual effects of like Hogwarts and all of the things happening was like,
Yeah.
whoa. And then they got older, and I was like, wowee, I don't care. Like, it got to a point where they were like older than I was. Like, they progressed faster, it seemed, even though that's not true. But like they got to a point where like now they were like full on adults, and I was like, why don't you you're legally the age to purchase a firearm? Like I literally got to that point where I was like, why? Like I don't know. Like as a kid, the magic was cool, and at the end, I was like, dude, like what
Oh
if you
my
just
God.
shot Voldemort? That was my thought process. I was like, what if Harry pulled out a Glock and just lit into like what would he do? What spell prevents bullets? They probably when magic first came about, they probably didn't prepare for bullets to exist. So I'm saying like, what if Dumbledore, instead of going Avada Kedavra, just fucking shot Voldemort in the head and the movie had ended? Like that was it. So like at the end, I was like, I don't really like. I know how it's gonna end because I read the book, so I was like, I'm good. I don't need to see it.
Wow, that was
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, that was.
You hate fun things, confirmed. Okay.
I feel like, shooting in the head may not work because of the the fucking Horcruxes. Like, that's the whole plot.
what did you
The
just say?
Horcruxes.
Okay.
Sorry, the
The
Horcruxes.
hallmarks.
The hall monitors.
The hallmark ornaments scattered throughout the wizarding
That's
world.
what is Horcruxes.
I mean, maybe, but it would be pretty funny. It would be like the Indiana Jones scene where he like,
Yes.
and then he just shoots him. So Voldemort's over here like, I'm the Dark Wizard,
I
and
don't
Harry
have a
just
nose.
fucking pulls out a gun, shoots him in the head. He's like, ow! What the fuck? Like, I mean,
Maybe
even
he
if it
has
didn't
to shoot
kill
him 7 times.
Yeah, there you go. Just like right in the head 7 times.
And then like Harry has to like wait, but Harry is a Horcrux.
Right.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
So at the end, Harry, you gotta make. I mean,
Sacrifice.
yeah, Harry did, and did.
So you're
didn't he
telling me
die?
the proper ending to the Harry Potter universe is a murder-suicide.
Where Harry
We
pulls out a gun, shoots Voldemort, and then shoots himself in the head.
And then he just like it fades out. Yeah,
that's the end.
And it just ends. It's over.
Actually, then
There's
there's
no
like,
weird white train.
there's an after credit scene of them attending Harry's funeral, and it's like the whole Weasley family crying, and Emma Watson crying because she was so confused about whether or not she loved him, and
where
they're
they should have been together.
Dumbledore's still alive, spoiler alert, and he's like, oh no! That's the worst that could happen, you know?
He eats like just beans in the back, like the jelly beans. 'Cause he loves those.
I was thinking like a can of Bush's baked beans. Dumbledore's just going
What
to
are those
town.
beans called? I brought you back a box of
Bert's.
those.
Birdie bots every flavor
I brought
beans.
you back.
He's just eating
I remember-
bush baked beans with a spoon. The
Cold.
The beans had the pain.
I remember when I
focus
came back from
on-
Harry Potter Land, Harry Potter World, they had like, we got those and like we tried them.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Oh
god.
man, those things are gnarly.
There are
actually.
some
Have
that
you ever
taste
had
like
them before?
straight
Yeah.
vomit.
Okay.
There's like soap flavored and vomit flavored. And...
Those aren't the problem. The only one that messed me up real bad was earwax.
That's the one Dumbledore eats.
Yeah.
Earwax literally put me out of commission for an hour. I could not function properly. I was like, no. I was like sticking my tongue out so it wouldn't touch any other parts of my mouth. I was like, no.
How did you know it tasted like earwax?
It didn't. I don't know if it tasted like earwax. I just know it tasted atrocious. It wasn't. I doubt it tasted like earwax, but it definitely tasted like real bad. It was awful.
I think the vomit ones are the worst.
I think
See, I
that's
can
maybe
handle
that's why
that.
you don't
no,
like Harry Potter.
I like literally
I
went
think it's
in and
because
I
you
threw
just
up.
had a really traumatic experience with Birdie Bots every flavor.
I was like
beans.
14 when when I ate that.
Yeah, and
that lines up with it.
yeah, it does.
Yeah. No, there were just other movies at that point that I was more interested in seeing. I don't actually hate
Well,
Harry
there's people
Potter.
I'm
at
more
this point.
interested in podcasting
Oh
with
my
besides you, and yet
gosh.
here you are.
Is one of them Daniel Radcliffe?
Dude, if my business partner was Daniel Radcliffe, you'd be out of here in a second.
Burgeoning actor Daniel Radcliffe, who made all of his money but still can't get good acting jobs.
What does he do nowadays?
Yeah.
Just
acts.
nothing.
He still acts. He
he-
was in a bunch of movies.
He rapped. Oh, he was. What was that movie? Swiss Army Man.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that?
Is that the one where he's like mostly dead and
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
It's actually a decent movie. Good for him.
Yeah. No,
He's also rapping on an
acting.
episode of Jimmy Fallon like 5 years ago. He rapped the like this really famous like alphabet rap.
Yeah. No, he's a very like talented actor. He's just like no one wants to hire Harry Potter to be in their movie.
I mean, it's okay. He's probably like
It's true.
loaded
What is that?
for the rest
Oh,
of his
yeah.
What is
life.
that
He could
term?
not work.
What is that
one
term
day.
in film? Typecast? Yeah.
He was
yeah, yeah.
hard typecast as Harry Potter from basically like the beginning of his childhood, so he
Yeah.
will never not be. So
Emma Watson's doing fine though.
Emma Watson
she's-
has made. Well, she doesn't act anymore, really. She's been in a few things. but
Wasn't
not
she
as
like one
much
of the
as-
highest paid actresses for a while though? Like maybe in like the early
I think-
2010s. I
yeah,
think she was
when-
really in high demand.
when they got in the last like few Harry Potter movies,
I'm
she
gonna
was
look up
getting a
some
lot of money.
typecast actors. just 'cause-
Robert Downey Jr.
yeah.
Hard typecast. What's his face that I don't like? Johnny Depp. I don't like him as a person. He's a fine
Would you put
actor.
Samuel L. Jackson in there?
No.
You don't think so? Nowadays?
No, because he's still like doing other things, and also I love. This is another. I'm gonna talk about that series later. So if we want to,
I mean, if you want to mess up the order a little bit, you can talk about the series now because Morgan's preoccupied with
Alright.
typecast actors.
I'm looking.
Samuel L. Jackson is in the Unbreakable series.
I am not at all familiar with that.
Yes.
Unbreakable, which was a movie that came out in, I'm pretty sure, either the year 2000 or like 2001.
2000.
2000. Starring Bruce Willis. It's an
Such
M.
a
Night
good movie.
Shyamalan movie.
Blech.
You don't like M. Night Shyamalan?
He's one of the worst directors I've ever seen. He has some really good movies, but he has some really bad movies.
I mean, I don't
he's a hit or
claim
miss.
to be like familiar with his work. Unbreakable was, I really loved it. So it's about this guy who Bruce Willis plays. I don't remember his name. It's not important, but he's just a dude, but he happened to be born impervious to damage of any sort. He can't get sick. He can't be damaged.
Does that mean, can he feel pain still?
No, not really.
Okay.
And his weakness is water. But he's like
So he's a gremlin.
He's like a superhero.
He's a gremlin.
Well, no, he's like Bruce Willis. So I mean, Bruce Willis is close to a gremlin, but his ears aren't pointy enough. No, that's not a weakness for gremlins. That's what makes them stronger.
Okay, fair. Continue.
But he's like super strong. He's impervious to damage. So like the thing is, he's been in multiple like crashes where he did not sustain any damage, and he like lies about it. So like he was in a car crash a long time ago with his current or like wife.
Yeah.
But he stopped doing football because she wasn't going to stay with him if he kept doing football. She didn't like it. She didn't want him to get hurt, ironically. But he got in a car crash, not on purpose, but he walked away from it like with nothing. He actually lifted the car off of her, and he like lied and said like, oh, I got injured in the car crash, so I can't play football, to like stay with his girl. And then the second movie was Split, which you may have like heard of. That was a few years ago. It was like a thriller where, what's his name?
The guy who plays
James McAvoy. Yeah, the guy who plays the new Professor X.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, but he played this crazy, really good, really well acted guy with multiple personalities. So he would like change his whole demeanor and everything, but one of the personalities, spoiler alert, is the Beast. And the Beast is like superhuman. It can like crawl on walls and like run at superhuman speeds and is super strong. And the third movie recently came out called Glass. Now Glass,
oh, okay, that's where that ties in. Okay.
is about Samuel L. Jackson's character. Now Samuel L. Jackson's character was in Unbreakable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He, spoiler alert again, was found to be the one causing massive crashes of trains and boats and planes, looking for someone who was unbreakable.
So he was the reason that like his parents died, his family died.
He was the reason like all of these people died because he was looking for Bruce Willis's character, and so they just made the third one where it's like the title is about him. And I'm
Teaming Up, right?
I actually haven't seen it.
Oh, from what I can tell from the trailer, it's like the Dr. Mr. Glass. That's what his
Mr.
villain
Glass.
name is.
Yeah.
And the Split guy teaming up,
Yes.
the Beast.
And then Bruce Willis
Tries to stop him.
probably trying to stop him. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a very untraditional superhero TV. It's like a more realistic superhero TV show.
Which is...
Or movie, sorry.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite genres, actually, is like realism in superheroes. So unlike... It's not like the cape-wearing Crusaders. It's like more gritty, and they don't know what they're doing, and they are just trying to like do their best. Similar like thing that would fit in that genre would be Hancock.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen that.
Yeah.
That's a funny one.
Yeah. So like movies like that I really like. But yeah, that's my second series. I'm really looking forward to seeing the third one.
My second series, I just thought about it actually when you were talking, is the Deadpool series.
Oh, okay.
Such a good, thing. So, I don't know. Deadpool is just really hilarious, and I think it's one of the first kind of superhero movies of its kind again.
Yeah.
Self-aware.
It's self-aware. That's just how Deadpool is, the
Yeah.
character. Like, it's really hard to bring that kind of character to life because you don't know when you're crossing the line. And again, it's owned by Disney now, so it's hard to make an R-rated movie like that.
Yeah. It's true.
But I just think it's really hilarious just how they do it. And I think both of them. Some people think the second one isn't as good, and at first I was like, but then I watched it again, and honestly, like, it's just as good as the first one, if not even better, with all of the jokes. Just the whole X-Force.
Oh my god.
X-Force scene where they're all like dying. And then at the end where he just goes back in time and basically makes the whole movie null and void.
But only saves what's the guy's name?
Oh, he only saves
Is it Paul or
Paul?
something?
Yeah.
Paul or Steve
Paul.
or whatever, some like really uninteresting name.
Yeah.
Maybe Kevin. I don't know.
No, it's like Paul, I think, but he only goes back and saves Paul. Like, it's so good. And with the second one, they did kind of have more of like a morality theme with it, about that whole, like, the whole struggles of that kid, Fire Fist. Just go all the way to the elbow. It's really good. And I hope they make a third one. I haven't seen anything about it. But I'm really hoping that they end up crossing over these current X-Men films that are going to come out with Deadpool. Because there's 2 coming out this year. One is Dark Phoenix, and then the other is I forget. It's it's about the kids. It's actually more of a horror film. But I think it's funny because it has both Maisie Williams, who is Arya Stark in Game of Thrones, and it has Sophia Turner, who is Sansa Stark. So they're both superheroes now, which I find funny, and they're going to be in the same series. But with the X-Men movie with Maisie Williams that's coming out, it's kind of interesting because they shot the whole thing a year ago, over a year ago, and they actually postponed it because they wanted to make it scarier, so they reshot it.
Yeah.
Because they want this one to be a horror movie, which I'm excited for. I don't know when it comes out, probably later this year at some point. I want to say towards maybe October. But yeah, Deadpool, it's great.
Deadpool. So I have like a kind of like a top 3 favorite characters of all time, just in any fictional setting. The Joker's my number 1. Deadpool's number 2 though, and then Hannibal Lecter is number 3.
It's just like all media, like not just superheroes. Like,
yeah, just of all time. I love the Joker, but Deadpool is so good. And what I'm hoping they do for the third movie, I hope they cross him over with X-Men movies and don't waste his movie on crossing over.
Yeah.
Because what I want the third movie to be is Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. I don't know if you're familiar with that comic line, but that would be amazing if they could bring back all of these characters that are like in all of the different Disney.
Like Hugh Jackman comes back as Wolverine.
Like things like that would be so cool just for that like one cameo where he like goes and kills this person and like it's just such a funny series, like it's like comic line. I think it'd be hilarious to see it on screen with Ryan Reynolds. So.
I'm just remembering one of the post-credit scenes from Deadpool 2 when he goes back in time to the original Deadpool debut in Wolverine, and then he just shoots his character, and it's Ryan Reynolds, so he shoots him, and then Wolverine's just like. He's like, sorry, don't mind me, just forget this happened. He's like shoots the body a couple times.
And when he shoots Ryan Reynolds in the back of the head over the Green Lantern script.
Oh my god.
that was pretty good. When he's just like,
I'm excited for Detective Pikachu.
Oh wow, I am too. You have no idea.
Okay.
I can't wait. My turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one I have is kind of out of left field, but I almost forgot about this too until just a few minutes ago. And it's the Austin Powers series.
Oh, okay.
I absolutely love the Austin Powers franchise. I was watching them really young when I was a kid, like probably like 3 or 4, and there's like a lot of raunchy stuff going on there, but just so many one-liners and like quotable moments in there that like I just absolutely love that series. Obviously, Mike Myers had his time. He has completely fallen off from grace. But I think he was really great in those movies, and I just really loved, everything about them. I love, like, the 60s, like, the vibe of them and stuff. And just, like with Harry Potter, it just made me feel a certain way when I watched them. Like, man, this is just, like, so entertaining. Like, it's not taking itself too seriously. It knows what it is. Like, it was just funny. It was just a great, like, parody of spy movies.
Yeah.
And I just love it so much. There's 3 movies right now. They came out in like the late 90s to like early 2000s. There's been a 4th one rumored for like, I don't know, like literally 15 years at this point. Mike Myers has been talking about it on and off, and I really, really hope. I mean, they've been rebooting so many series recently that like I'm sure that at some point they're gonna finally make it happen, and I would love to watch
movie,
it.
Though. Sorry.
Yeah, that. Well, no. Well, we should. That's one of those situations where you let the sleeping dog lay. We don't need another Shrek movie.
That's no. I think you used the wrong analogy. That's one where you look at the horse, it's already beaten to death, and you don't hit it again.
I think my
It's
analogy
already
was
dead.
fine. I think you just wanted to take it a step further.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Well,
Shrek
I'm not
was
wrong.
should have been done
After the third
like
one.
3 movies ago. Like, please.
Well, wasn't the third one called Shrek Forever After?
Shrek
Or no,
should've-
Shrek the third, and then Shrek Forever After.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
the
'cause it
last
was
one was
4.
called Shrek.
Shrek Forever After was the 4th
Yes.
one. And then
Forever After.
and then we got Shrek 5 instead of Fast 5. It's Shrek 5.
Shrek 5, the racing one.
Yeah.
No, as soon as the babies were born, they shouldn't have been born. I think that was where I was out. I was like, no. How did that donkey and that dragon make that? No. That's where I was like, no, you lost me. Shrek, like, woman turning into ogre for true love, that's fine. Ogre turning into human for true love, fine. Babies, no, get the fuck out. I don't want that. Don't give me donkey dragon hybrids. I am not down for that. Nobody asked for
They're called
that.
dronkies. Just,
That makes me hate them more that they have a name.
They're babies. I don't think you should care that much. Jared hates babies. I want to go on the record right now.
No, the ogre baby's fine. That was fine. Interspeciality.
Is that a word?
I made it up, or it's a word that I used without knowing, but donkey dragon does not compute.
Okay.
That's putting a square peg in a circle.
Just an update. It says Shrek. It like they still talk about it. Like they want to make a 5th one. Like they have a whole movie planned out, and it's expected to release 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back to my series. I guess I got through most of it, but yeah, I like Austin Powers. I hope they come out with a new one. Really underrated movies. Like they've kind of reached like cult classic status.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
are cult classics.
But I like them a lot. They're a fun watch.
We should do a whole thing on cult classics.
Ooh,
Um,
I could go off.
I have
Man,
some very
man.
unknown animated movies.
Remember that time I
list.
started talking about my series and I kept getting interrupted by both of you? I guess I'll finish now.
I'm glad you know what it feels like now.
Oh,
What are
call
you,
out
what are you
post.
talking about?
Always interrupts.
Let's
Call
go.
out post.
Who's next?
I don't know.
You were done?
Yep.
You made that whole stink about.
It's no, I'm done. It's fine.
Okay, let's end it then.
What? No?
Do you have another series?
Not really, honestly.
I
Like-
have kind of a cheating one.
Is it the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
No, I'm not talking about the whole. That's too much.
Okay.
I could do an entire
Well,
10-hour podcast.
Do you want to just throw it out there then? What is it?
It's not a series,
Okay.
but it is a collection of films,
Okay.
Mhm.
and that is the John Hughes movies. Do you know? No idea.
No idea.
I'm looking it
80s
up.
movies.
Hmm?
They're 80s movies. Pretty in Pink,
Oh.
16 Candles,
Oh,
Breakfast
okay.
Club.
I've seen. Okay, yeah. Okay, there we go. I've seen 16 Candles at Breakfast
Yeah.
Club. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, no, you have me now.
Yes.
Okay.
I've
So-
seen most of those.
I did not know who
John
John-
Hughes made I think it was 6 really big movies, including Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right?
Mhm.
So I've
Yeah.
seen that as well. Okay.
So yeah, he's even though they are not technically series, that collection of films,
yeah.
so good. I
can agree.
Those movies.
I probably haven't seen all of them, but I've at least seen 3 of them.
Yeah, I think I've seen 5. I think I've seen 5 out of the main 6 teen
He
romance
wrote all the
movies.
Beethovens.
He did do that. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
But Ferris Bueller's Day Off, such a classic that tie back. Deadpool actually referenced it in the after credits, the first Deadpool. But yeah, no, I mean Ferris Bueller's Day Off was a great movie. Breakfast Club, a great movie. 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, all of these movies, these 80s movies. I think one of those actually is not John Hughes. So I apologize.
Breakfast Club.
I know Breakfast
Ferris
Club,
Bueller.
Ferris Bueller are.
Pretty in Pink is
Okay,
I
then
just saw it.
16 Candles technically is not. It's not him, but
Oh.
it's the same style of movie
Yeah.
with the same characters. Whoa. So yeah, no, those like 80s movies were great. I really loved them. That style of like teen romance
Yeah.
is like something that does not exist at all anymore. Like, name the last time they made a movie where the whole point was just romance. Like, no. Like, now they're like Power Rangers, but there's a romance. Or like, you know, they Marvel. That's it. You know, are Hulk and Black Widow a thing? No.
Talk about
no, they're-
showering together. But
Right. Yeah, basically like that style of like Can't Buy Me Love was another one where like it was horrible what they did to each other in these movies, like the levels they went to. 'Cause
I don't
it was
know
a
any-
different time.
I don't know what that. Wait, you mean like just the movies in general?
Yeah,
okay.
oh yeah, they were horrible to each other in even like in their relationships.
Yeah.
When it was like, oh, that's the ideal guy. Like, no, he's also an asshole. But like,
yeah.
so yeah, it was just I don't know. I love those movies. 80s movies, in general, are a big part of my life, but like those specifically are like definitely on point.
I gotta say that was really like I was not expecting you to throw those out there, but like knowing your music tastes, like I guess it doesn't surprise me.
We should talk about music in one of these.
Oh, that's a no-brainer. I don't know why we haven't.
Mhm.
I mean, if we're talking about like just film like
Yeah,
collections,
collection.
like
Yeah.
every single Ghibli film
Mhm.
like in existence should be included. Just
I haven't
'cause
seen all of them.
I've
I'm
seen
not
a
gonna
few.
lie.
I've seen
for
all
sure.
of them.
How many are there? 12?
There's a lot.
Like main ones.
Don't get Nausicaa,
I've not seen
Nausicaa the Valley of the Wind,
that. Ponyo.
Something of the Heart,
Ponyo,
Ponyo,
Totoro.
The Cat Returns, Totoro, Princess Mononoke,
Howl's Moving
Howl's
Castle.
Moving Castle.
Spirited,
Spirited Away.
Yeah.
There's a couple that y'all don't know. Grave of the Fireflies,
I didn't know like,
which
most
is
of the ones
one
you
of the
said.
saddest movies I've ever seen.
I've known 3 of them so far.
There's more, but I have them all.
I've only seen like 3 or 4. Like I've seen Ponyo, Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away, and My Neighbor Totoro. So that's 4.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Howl's Moving Castle is my favorite Studio Ghibli movie that I've seen, and also because of I don't like that style of drawing. I sat through the Howl's Moving Castle for the first time because my I think it was my dad showed it to me. He was like, "You have to try it at least to see if you like it."
Also on this guy too.
And I did not like the style of animation, but the plots in Studio Ghibli movies are so good
Mhm.
that I can get over it.
Did you know that Christian Bale voiced Howl
I didn't know that.
in that movie?
I mean,
They
he
get
said, like,
really
5 words. Or
Howl?
They outsource
No.
really weird for some of these.
they get
voice
really
roles.
good voice actors. Like right off the bat, Christian Bale, Shia LaBeouf, Uma Thurman. Those are just a couple.
Interesting.
Noah Cyrus
For Ponyo.
for Ponyo, and then the youngest Jonas brother, the young one.
Which one is that?
Joe? No, not Joe.
No, the little
No,
Frankie.
no.
Oh,
Frankie.
Frankie was
the
in-
bonus Jonas.
The
Frankie
bonus Jonas.
Frankie Jonas he was
Oh,
in Ponyo.
I
damn.
forgot he was even alive.
Yeah, they get really famous people to do the voices.
Well, really famous. I mean, you went down in famousness when you went to the bonus Jonas, but
Oh yeah.
but yes, I see what you mean.
Name
now.
recognition, we'll say that.
Yeah,
Just
sure.
having the Jonas last name adds that on there.
No, but
Yeah.
just
mean-
in general, the Ghibli movies, even if you don't like animated films, I feel like they're just really amazing from the art style, and then again the plots. Because something that is kind of like it happens almost in every Miyazaki film at least, and he's the director who does most of those. He is a very environmentally active like guy. Like every film has something to do with the environment in some way, whether that be like Princess Mononoke, Nausicaa the Valley of the Wind, Ponyo, all of
Ponyo.
those. Totoro even has something to do with spirits and the environment and how we need to balance that. And something I really enjoy in every single one of his movies too is that there never really is a bad guy. There is no villain in the film. And I just feel like that's something that's really hard to achieve in
Yeah.
film in general. And somehow he knocks it out of the park with everything. Like, for example, in Princess Mononoke, which is my favorite one. It's like a medieval time film, and it's all about this warrior who's banished from his village because he's cursed by a demon. His name's Ashitaka, and he goes out to figure out what's causing the land to be like, why are all these demons coming out, and what's happening, because he lives in this secluded village. And he goes out and he sees that kind of mankind has been like going deeper into the forests, killing all of the monsters and the beasts in there, and it's driving them crazy, and it's making them turn into demons. And one of my favorite quotes of all time is from this movie, and it's basically to see with eyes unclouded by hate, which is just like a really cool line because it encompasses the whole film. Because basically Ashitaka's kind of love interest in a way is San, who's a human that's lived with the wolf spirits forever. And she's on the forest team, and it's like for both sides. Like the humans hate the forest because the humans just want to, you know, develop and grow, and the forest hates the humans because the humans are destroying their home and killing everybody. So it's kind of that idea of seeing with eyes unclouded by hate to see why each other, like why they're doing it. And it has one of the best endings I've ever seen in any film, so I always recommend it at any time. But that's kind of a whole theme around all of the Ghibli movies, just to see like what the other person, like everyone does things for a reason, and like it's trying to figure out what that reason is really. But yeah, so that got really deep. But like that is like the Ghibli movies in general.
Yeah, no, I mean like Spirited Away, like the whole like plot is based on like the parents' gluttony / greed, not like a villain turning them into like the pigs. That's what they turn into, right? Pigs. It's not like that. It's like, oh, like they are gluttonous and greedy and they get punished for it, and like it's not like in a more normal movie that would be like a witch is there like obviously putting a spell on them or on the food or whatever, but in this it's not that obvious. It's like, oh, it's just like there are bad things that happen and you have to deal with those things in whatever way you can, not like you have to fight the bad guy to win.
That's a good point.
And same with like No Face in that film too, because No Face is a spirit that is just extremely lonely, and he thinks the way to make friends. He likes San because San was Chihiro in that movie. I think her name is also San. Like she has two names basically. Sen. Sorry, that would bother me. But like same with No Face. Like he really likes Chihiro because she like was nice to him, and he does all this like kind of things with, he like has fake gold and he tries to like be her friend, but she doesn't want to because he's a monster basically. And it's like it's the same thing there. Like he's not trying to be evil and eat people. He's just lonely and is, you know, trying to get over that.
Right.
Just a really good movie. It reminds me of Alice in Wonderland a lot.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Yeah. There's also a theory that it's not a wash house, like a bathhouse. It's actually a whorehouse.
Yep.
Oh, brothel.
Yeah, because what's her name? What's the name of the witch in that movie?
It's been a while.
You're asking the wrong person.
The person, the lady who like runs the bathhouse, she's like a witch.
Yeah, I don't remember her name.
Oh, it's Yubaba.
Oh.
And Yubaba, I don't know if this is 100%, but it translates like that in Japanese. Like Yubaba is what they would call like the women who ran water bathhouses that were secretly like whorehouses.
It's like their version of us saying like madame, like
yeah. So Yubaba, and then like they would also call the women who worked there like something too, which means like water woman, and that would translate to like a prostitute. But it's interesting.
Okay.
I don't know if that's 100% true. It was just one of those things I've seen, but yeah. But Ghibli films, they're really good.
You certainly have a passion for them.
Yes, if only you'd stay awake to
I've
fully
seen a few of
one.
them.
Which one?
I've seen a few of them.
You've seen Totoro.
Yeah.
Everyone's
I
seen
watched
Totoro.
Spirited Away.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing.
like Totoro is the one I've seen the least. I've seen Howl's Moving Castle the most. It's it's my favorite. So that's
I've
why.
probably seen Laputa the most out of all of them.
Never heard of
It's one of that one has Shia LaBeouf in it. It's basically about it's about a floating city called Laputa, which is actually in Gulliver's Travels. and kind of like these two people's journey to go find the city of Laputa, and then when they get there it's like abandoned and stuff because basically the people got so smart that they left the city and they went back down to earth. And it like this like one of the girls, she's like has Laputa blood in her, so she's like magical. It's like it's a complicated story, but it's good too. But yes,
Okay.
that one collection.
Any other things you want to throw out there? We're closing in on an hour right now, so we should probably wrap up soon.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
have
wanna
to go
do
film some people.
There's some stuff that no one said that I was surprised
You want to do a
about.
rapid round, or you just say?
Yeah,
real
well,
quick?
I didn't hear. Well, I mentioned Star Wars. I didn't get into it. No one said Lord of the Rings, which is
Oh my god, I love Lord of the Rings.
which I haven't seen all of. I'm just like I was surprised that neither of you said it.
I always
yeah.
I love Lord of the Rings.
Another one
Yeah.
I want to throw out is National Lampoon. All of those movies, like at least in the '80s, the ones with Chevy Chase in
Those are
them.
never my favorite.
I
Me
love those,
neither.
like
I've
Christmas
I
Vacation,
think
European
I've only ever
Vacation.
seen the Christmas Vacation.
Home Alone.
Not Home Alone. Definitely not Home Alone.
Home Alone, the first one was good.
I like the
The
one
second
where
one,
he's
even
in
Lost
Christmas.
in New York, was all right. But
Yeah.
after the first two, that's all you need. You
How
don't
many
need to watch-
times are you gonna leave your kid behind?
Now, one I would bring up if we kept going
Yeah.
would be Toy Story.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, of course, Toy Story. I would even put Shrek in there, but only the first three, not the fourth
Okay.
one. I didn't even bother with the fourth one.
What about Puss in Boots? That's
No,
part of the
not-
series.
not
That
Puss
one was
in
good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of animated ones that we're missing there.
Yeah, Toy Story is important for the film industry because
Oh,
it was
yeah.
the first
The
time.
first like 3D animated
3D
film.
animated.
Yeah, it was like
used for a whole
1995
film.
too. It was like way ahead of its time.
Yep.
And then you know,
And I mean, the story was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, the plot was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, no, Toy Story was very good.
Yeah.
And it stayed very good. That was the other thing. Because I thought about saying something like Lion King, because there technically are sequels. But, like, the first one's the only real Lion King. You
Yeah.
know? Like, you just
I
get
like
the
the
first
one where the daughter,
where the daughter.
with the
Wow,
daughter,
that's discreet.
Simba's Pride.
I don't.
Is that number 2?
I have no
Number
idea.
3?
There's like a 1.5 too.
I have it on DVD.
and that's supposedly good. I've never seen it.
It's the whole first film from the perspective of Pumbaa and Timon.
Right.
It's so funny.
Huh. Yeah, no, it's like there's definitely like a bunch of Disney movies that like I guess as a genre I would say like Disney
Yeah.
is a genre.
Yeah, I mean, because there's the whole theory about like all Disney movies like lining up in one way,
and
like
Pixar is the same.
We can
way,
say
like-
Frozen is a series because the
No.
second trailer just came out.
no.
Yeah, I wouldn't put
No.
that in there anyway.
I
As my
wouldn't, no.
favorite.
Why?
I
Frozen,
hated the
Frozen
first
is so important. I think it's so good.
important.
Yes, they've oversold it as a brand and they've like turned it into something.
Let It
kind
Go
of,
is
like...
a fine song.
No, I'm not talking about the song. I'm talking about the story on there because
But
it's like
that's
one of
it.
the first films
But
where
that's
it's
it.
like not about. Well, not. I don't know. There's a couple Disney films now, but like, it's just not about straight. It's like romance is shit in that movie. Like she
Yeah.
falls in love with the dude and then he like betrays her and then she realizes, hey, I just love my sister and like that's good enough. Like so, I don't know. Maybe it's just me having a sister, but
Yeah, I don't have a
I
sister.
mean, I have a sister, but
it's different. It's like
no, that isn't.
sister
I
and
don't get that.
sister.
I mean, I don't know. Like, because I thought the first movie that did something like where it messed with romance was Brave.
Oh, I love that movie.
and so,
too.
like, Frozen didn't even for me have that, like, oh, I'm doing this new thing where we don't, like, really do romance as the same as every other Disney movie. But the other thing is, Pixar movies I think, are usually better than Disney movies. You have to get some of, like, the old classic Disneys to get them to be as good as Pixar movies.
I agree.
So like Incredibles
Oh,
is one of my favorite series.
Throw
that
that
I
into a
would-
series now.
Yep, I would mention.
Yep.
And that I think has like that deals with romance in a really, really interesting way because as an adult, Incredibles is a very different movie. It's about marital issues
Yeah.
and like
Yep.
cheating and like the suspicion of cheating and raising kids, trying to like balance your home life with your work life and
Yep.
all of these things.
That's
As
really
a-
true. Yeah.
As a kid, Incredibles is literally just a superhero
Superhero,
movie.
yeah.
You're like, oh,
Yeah.
he went with the white-haired woman to the island to fight a robot. That's all that, like, and he did. That's what he does. But
Yeah.
like, as an adult rewatching it, you're like, holy shit, like, that's real bad. So yeah.
That's a good series.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're a little bit past an hour now, so I guess we'll wrap it up now.
Sounds good.
So we
Yeah.
talked about a lot of different movies, franchises. We talked about Unbreakable,
Yeah.
Star Wars, briefly, Austin Powers, How to Train Your Dragon, Ghibli, among other things.
John Hughes.
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
I'm not sure what the deal is for what do you mean in this next week in terms of the stream, but we got 2 more episodes of Halo coming out
Yeah.
over the next couple of days. Yeah, and then we'll figure out a podcast for next week.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a good conversation. Thanks for coming, Morgan.
No
Do you
problem.
have any other things to say before we go?
Always step out of your comfort zone with movies because you'll be surprised sometimes.
Okay. Jared, any final words?
Um.
Don't care, bye. I'm just kidding.
Wow. Oh my gosh. No. I
Alright.
really like movies. You should watch them if you don't watch movies. That's it. That's
Let's
the
watch a
whole-
movie
Okay.
now.
Thank you all for coming. Good night,
Good night.
It's
fair
new.
weathered
It's new.
travelers.